Just like to welcome you all, guys. My name's Mark. I'm from RBT North Melbourne, and I'd like to welcome you to the webinar tonight. What we're going to be looking at today is how to set fitness goals for the new year, and obviously make it the best and fittest and healthiest year that you've ever had. Every single new year, you know, everyone comes up with different resolutions and sort of throws out a few claims left and right about what they want to achieve, and very little thought really goes into it. And as we really want to go step by step, we want to make sure that you guys are going to get the best results possible, and we're going to show you different ways on actually how to achieve it. You know, me and the other trainers, you know, one of the first things we always do when we sit down with people is you know, talk through their goals, their aims, and their desires of what they want when they come to work out at RBT. And usually what we get is quite a sort of broad answer, like I'd like to be fit, and I'd like to tone up, I'd like to feel good, I'd like to get stronger. But what you'll find is that, you know, most of these are fairly open-ended statements, and nothing really, there's nothing really to gain from there. There's nothing really sort of thrown out. There's no sort of timeline or anything like that. So you can you know, you can really sort of throw out those statements without any sort of reflection or real commitment in the end. And as you know, train at RBT, you can always get fitter, and you can always get leaner and tone up more. And you know, when you work out enough, you're always going to feel better, and you're going to get stronger. So really, essentially, they're not achieving anything. They're not measuring anything to actually achieve. So that's why goals are great. You know, and goals show you exactly what you want to achieve from day one. They also, you know, once you've achieved them, give you a great sense of achievement. What we're going to do today, obviously, is run you through how to identify your goals, what you actually want to achieve in terms of your health and fitness, and hopefully this will give you a real sort of determination and a real sense of purpose every time you work out, and a massive sense of achievement when you actually reach these goals as well. So what we need to do to start with is run through, you know, why we actually set goals. Goal setting is a massively powerful tool. You can apply this, you know, pretty much to any aspect of your life, sporting life, academic life, your health, personal life, and I know that, you know, many of you who work for big businesses and stuff, you'll be doing goal setting every single month, and it's a huge aspect of business life as well. Goal setting does genuinely have the power to change your life, as long as you set the right goals. You're setting the right goals and stuff that is achievable to your skill set, your actual personal behaviors and patterns. There is an extremely high chance that you will achieve it. Yeah? In terms of goal setting, why we actually set goals, it identifies both to your conscious and your unconscious mind what you wish to achieve. And so, you know, you're projecting it out there, and you can always think about it, but then also on a deeper level, you're starting to sort of work on this thing, and hopefully it will, you know, if your goal is to lose body fat, your unconscious mind's always constantly sort of feeding back to you, going, hey, stay away from the chocolate, stay away from the ice cream, you want to hit that body fat goal. The person most likely to achieve their goal is the person that has an absolute crystal clear idea of what their goal is, and also, most importantly, step by step how to achieve it. Yeah? You set the right goals, you know how to achieve it, there's no reason why you won't ever achieve those goals. When we set the goals, obviously you want to be highly motivated. Make goals, especially when we're talking in our line of business, you know, fitness goals. You have to be motivated to achieve it. You can't just turn up and say, oh, you know, this is cool, I want to lift a little bit of weight. It'd be great if I could bench press a bit and impress the girls with that. But you need to be highly motivated. There needs to be an underlying feeling where you go, all right, I want this so badly, then I'm going to make sure that every single day and every time I go into the gym, it's the main reason why I'm going to pump it so hard. Yeah. It shows you that also that there's a certain value in achieving them as well, because once you set that goal and you know that it's something that really motivates you, once you achieve it, you're going to get a real sense of worth and value of yourself in the whole process of doing it. If you have little interest in the outcome, though, you know, they're really irrelevant in your larger picture, then the chances of you actually putting in the work to achieve those goals are very slim. As we said here, you know, like high priorities in life. So, you know, if losing body fat isn't actually something that affects you on a daily basis, and looking good on the beach is not something that you really want to think about, then don't worry about it. There's going to be another aspect to your life that you're going to throw all your energy and effort into, and you don't need to focus on the goals that maybe RBT has for you, but maybe a business or some other aspect of your life. The goal setting is a great tool that you don't just need for fitness. Also, you know, the motivation that we have to actually achieve the goal is something that should be almost partnered with. So if you tell someone, or if you have someone to do it with, all of a sudden you're going to have that slightly competitive, but also someone to be accountable for, and it basically keeps you honest throughout the whole time whilst you're trying to achieve your goals. One of the major, one of the best ways that we always do it here at the gym is what's known as SMART goals. Now I'm going to just try and share my screen. There we go. You guys can all see it? All right. So one of the processes we use here at RBT is SMART goal setting. It's a surefire way to achieve your goals, and basically what SMART stands for is specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and timely. We go through every one of these before we have a completed goal, and then we get a really great understanding of what we want to achieve. Yeah. So, when we're looking at specific, the goal should be straightforward and emphasize exactly what you want to happen. Specifics help to focus our efforts and clearly define what we're going to do. You know, being specific is the what, the why, the how of the SMART model. So what are you going to do? Yeah? Are you going to direct? Are you going to coordinate? Are you going to lead? Are you going to develop? Are you going to plan? Are you going to build? Are you going to achieve? What exactly are you going to do to help you achieve your goal, to create the goal that you want in terms of fitness? Yeah. When we say the why in terms of specificity, I can't say that word, so I'm not going to try it again. When we say the why, yeah, it's important to sort of say why is this important, and at what time are we going to be doing it? Yeah, and why do we want to ultimately accomplish this goal? How? Now that obviously is something that, you know, in terms of the fitness, we go, all right, we'll probably go to a trainer. We ask them, how am I going to achieve? Let me think. One of our clients' goals is we're climbing Everest. Yeah? How am I going to get strong enough and fit enough so I can climb Everest, and that my whole body is going to just be absolutely thankful for it. It's not going to break down or anything like that. You go to one of your trainers, they're going to find out a process for you. If they don't know, then we'll pass you on to someone who definitely will do. Yeah. So we have the what, the why, the how. That is the specific part of your goal method. Also, it's very important that when you're going specific, that it's clear and it's easy. You know, something that's achievable in your goals. But instead of setting a goal to lose weight or to be healthier, set a specific goal. Yeah, losing 2 centimeters of your waistline or running a sub 4-hour marathon. All of a sudden, you get a number attached to it, or you get a time attached to it. But anything like that where you've been specific to your goal and it gives you in terms of achieving, it suddenly sets an absolute timeline to what you do. The next one which we look at in the SMART model is obviously measurable. If you can't measure it, you can't manage it. In the broadest sense, the whole goal statement is a measure for the project. If the goal is accomplished, then it's a success. However, there are usually several short-term and small measurements that can be built into the goal. So let's have a look, think about it in this way. Choose a goal with a measurable process. If you think about how you'll see when you actually reach your goal, you have to be specific. So I don't know, one client we said, you know, and their birthday came up over Christmas, they said, oh, I want to drop 7.5% body fat so that I'm 15% on my birthday. And the birthday was around Christmas as well. So all of a sudden she was down to 15% body fat. She was looking great in the bikini. She was off on holiday, and that's exactly it. But she said to herself, specifically on this date and this much, that's what I want to be able to achieve. And it shows that, you know, you can measure it. I want to lose fat is not a measurable outcome. Yeah? So once we've established that concrete criteria, so the 7.5% body fat by birthday, 25th of December, let's say, you all of a sudden measure, well, there's a criteria for measuring your progress towards the attainment of each goal you set. Yeah? When you measure your progress, you stay on track. You reach your target dates and experience the exhilaration of achieving the goals, and that spurs you to continue the effort required to reach your goals. As I said at the beginning, the next one in the SMART model is obviously the attainable. You have to make sure that it's something that is definitely important to you, that's something that you identify with, then also something that you can actually do as well at the same time. Like, I'm not going to say to myself, oh, by the way, my goal is I want to run a sub 10-second 100. I can, you know, get sort of close to, maybe if I'm lucky, a 12.5-second 100, but there's not a hope in hell that I'm getting towards a 10-second 100. No matter how hard I train, no matter how much sprint training I do, it's not going to happen. Yeah? So what you want to do is you want to develop it and understand your own abilities, your skills, maybe your financial capacity, and then begin to see the opportunities that you can actually provide yourself so that you get closer to your goal. If it's too far out of your reach, you probably won't commit to doing it as well. That's another thing, you know, look, let's have a look. You know, someone says, all right, cool, I want to be 6% body fat. I want to be 6% body fat, and they're starting at 45 on. I want to be 6% body fat in 10 weeks, and they're starting at 30% body fat. Now, unless they do an insanely good job, which is maybe almost getting to the point where it's a little bit unhealthy, it's not going to be in their reach just yet. Yeah? And then all of a sudden they start having a look at, and they start getting demotivated. They're like, oh, you know, in the 10 weeks I got down to 20%, and they don't see back on how well they went at that time, but they get disappointed and demotivated by the fact that they didn't get down to the 6% which they set themselves in 10 weeks. Now, if it was a proper goal and they said, all right, cool, I'm at 30%, I want to be at 6%, you go, all right, cool, well, that's a 35-week program. This is what you're going to do, and then all of a sudden, every time you start hitting those 10% drop, you start having a look, and you're like, yes, I'm doing the right thing, and it means you keep going. Yeah, you keep giving your best every single time, and yeah, you get that sense of achievement as well at the end. Any goal that you set, it may have to be attainable, but it has to stretch you as well at the same time. So it doesn't need to be out of this world, but it needs to be somewhere where you need to give that little bit extra, some real commitment, so that, you know, you're going to have to work hard, and every single day it's a constant reminder to yourself, you know, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, I've got to do this, because I want that goal, which is slightly too difficult for me to maybe achieve unless I give 100%. Yeah? Setting a goal of maybe losing 1 kilo is not going to stretch you that much. While setting a goal of losing 15, 20 kilos, and you want to do that in a certain timeline, again, that's going to stretch you, and there's going to have to be some hard work, and there's going to have to be some changes in your nutrition and just your thought processes every single day as well. The greater, obviously, the greater the goal, the more attainable it is as well. The greater the motivation and the feeling you get when you actually succeed in that goal. The R that we use, realistic, very similar. very similar to attainable. Just means doable. It means it's not a vertical slope. It's a learning curve. So the skills you need to do the work are available. The task or the end result fits to you and the way that you live your life. A realistic project may push, or a realistic goal may push the skills and knowledge of the people or you working on it, but it shouldn't break. It shouldn't break you. It shouldn't break you to the point where you start getting demotivated and you can't achieve those goals. As we always say, and that's why we're really there to help as well. And any of the coaches around the RBTs are always going to be happy to help. Devise a plan. And realistically, set yourself goals week in, week out to make sure that you're hitting them and make sure that someone is accountable. And one of the coaches at RBT are always going to be a great way to make sure that you hit those goals every single time. And you know a step-by-step realistic process that you're going to hit those goals. Yeah. Some people might say a goal of never eating sweets, cakes, crisps, I don't know, chocolate. Maybe unrealistic for someone who really enjoys these foods. But you speak to a coach and you go, all right, cool, well, let's have a look at different ways in which we can change up your eating a little bit and devise a proper plan. That all of a sudden becomes a realistic goal, and you have someone to be accountable for every single time. What else have we got there? To be sure to set goals that you can attain with some effort. As we said before, same kind of thing with the attainable. Make sure it's not too difficult and you set yourself up for failure, but never set yourself up for something too low that all of a sudden you finish your goal in a week. Yeah? Set the bar high enough that it's a satisfying achievement. And then just finally on the T, something timely. So this is one of the key aspects. You set a time frame for the goal. So whether your goal's next week, 3 months time, 12 months. Put an end point to your goal and it gives you a clear target to work towards. You don't set a time, the commitment is too vague, and it tends not to happen at all because you haven't given yourself a start time. Yeah? But also on the other side, if there's no limit, if there's no end, then there's also no urgency to start taking immediate action. You have to have a measurable, attainable, and realistic time. So my goal is, we've been working on it for a while. I think I've got 4 weeks left, and I want them to be 8% body fat, still at 95 kilos, and then go and do the photo shoot. But what we did, and what other trainers have been doing with each other as well, is that we've been making sure every single Wednesday we keep each other in line and accountable, and that we know that there's a ticking time bomb going away because in 3-4 weeks time we have a photo shoot. Yeah? That's a really simple way of going, all right, cool, well, that's a measurable, attainable and realistic goal. Perfect goal for me. Last and not least as well, guys, what I really want you to make sure is that if you don't have a goal, start writing down some ideas. Start thinking of things that you'd love to do in terms of health and fitness, and something that you may not have dreamed of last year, but it's 2015 and it's a totally new year and you really want to get into it. Write some stuff down, start having a look on the internet for different events. Maybe it's to do a Tough Mudder and complete one. Maybe it's a marathon, maybe it's body fat drop, maybe it's, to look amazing naked, all these different kind of things. But start having a look and start being aware of what you want to achieve. And then if you don't know how to do it, go to one of our coaches. The coaches are going to sit down with you, and they're always more than happy to give you a bit of time. They're going to sit down with you, they're going to go, all right, cool. Well, this is what you need to look good naked. You need to be 8% because you want that six-pack out, all right? So you need to be 8%. So you're sitting at 15% now. This is your set strategy on how you're going to achieve it. If you want to complete a Tough Mudder, same kind of thing. You're going to go, all right, cool. Well, I need to be aerobically capable in this way, and I also need to have a little bit of strength in this way to get over all the obstacles. How am I going to achieve that? Because at the moment I can't even run out my front door. you go to one of the coaches, they go, oh, cool, well, this is what you do inside RBT, this is what you do outside of RBT, and then all of a sudden we go bang, bang, bang. You've got 12 weeks till the next Tough Mudder, and I'll do it with you. You know, it's those kind of things that as soon as you say it out loud to someone and you start trying to find a way in which you can actually achieve these goals, there's no one that can stop you. And the RBT coaches will help you every step of the way. And if they don't know the answer, one of the other coaches do. There's a plethora of us, and we're happy to help. You'll be able to find me on Facebook, guys. Any questions are further on goal setting. Also, Nick Nuck is the guy south. He's a very good one on goal setting as well. So throw some ideas, throw some questions at us, guys. We're more than happy to help. Hopefully, well, in fact, we'd like to know some of your goals. So even on the Facebook page, throw some out. Make yourself accountable on the Facebook page. I know at North and I know at South that we've got big walls where everyone's going to be writing down their goals. So let us know. Let us know. We're going to set you a timeline, and if we don't think it's difficult enough, we definitely will make it difficult enough. Hopefully we'll see you around us on RBT. Take care.